Chioma watched as her husband, Nnamdi, dropped the baby bag carelessly on the hospital floor. He didn't even look at her. His hand was already reaching for his phone, his eyes glued to the screen while the doctor tried speaking to him. Nnamdi wasn't listening. His mind was miles away. "There's nothing new you can tell me, doctor," Nnamdi muttered dismissively, without looking up. "I've done this 3 times already. Hopefully, this is the last." The doctor gave him a resigned look before turning to Chioma. "We will monitor you from time to time," the doctor said calmly. "But you should deliver tonight, or by dawn at the latest." "Thank you, doctor," Chioma replied politely, though her voice was weary. When the doctor left, Chioma tried to start a conversation. A sharp pain shot through her lower back. But she didn't want to be alone, not emotionally. "Nna, there's a spare bed right beside me," she said gently. "Why don't you sit?" "For what?" Nnamdi snapped, his eyes still fixed on his phone. "Am I the one in labor?" "I just meant you shouldn't have to stand." Chioma winced mid-sentence, clutching her side. Nnamdi sighed loudly. "Look, I'll go grab a drink at the bar across the street. Maybe stay an hour, then I'll head home. Just call me when you give birth to my son." He turned to leave. "Nna, please," Chioma said quickly. "When you get home, try to give Chloe her medicine. My cousin Kamsi, who's taking care of our children in my absence, might not be able to manage. You know Chloe is stubborn." Nnamdi hissed angrily. "That's all I've gotten from you in 8 years. 3 stubborn girls. If this child a girl too, don't even bother calling me." He slammed the door as he walked out. Tears blurred Chioma's vision. She wiped her cheeks quickly when the door opened again. A nurse walked in, supporting another heavily pregnant woman who shuffled painfully to the empty bed beside her. The woman groaned as she lay down. Moments later, a man burst into the room, his face full of worry. "Are you okay, darling?" he asked his wife. Then he turned to the nurse. "Please check her. Her contractions are coming too fast." "Don't worry, sir," the nurse reassured. "It's not time yet." Chioma watched as the man sat beside his wife, wrapping a comforting arm around her shoulders. That simple act broke her all over again. Fresh tears streamed down her face. Hours later, Chioma sat alone on the hospital bed, cradling her newborn. She hadn't looked at the baby properly, not once. The tiny girl lay quietly beside her, but Chioma's heart felt unbearably heavy. "I prayed," Chioma sobbed. "I fasted. I gave tithes. I donated to charities. Why? God, why?" She glanced at the woman in the next bed, who had also delivered a healthy baby boy. "It's not fair. Chioma whispered, her voice cracking. Life is not fair. The woman stared and turned to her. Are you okay? The woman asked gently. No. Chioma replied flatly. Was there a complication? Are you in pain? The woman asked, concerned. You wouldn't understand, Chioma said bitterly. You're lucky. You won't get it. What do you mean? The woman asked, confused. My husband. Chioma broke down again. He's going to leave me. This is our fourth child. Another girl. He warned me. If it wasn't a boy, he wouldn't come back. The woman's eyes softened with pity. I saw your husband last night. Chioma continued hopelessly. So gentle, so loving. Mine didn't even stay. He said not to call if it was another girl. That's not your fault, the woman said softly. We both know the man determines the baby's gender, not the woman. But Chioma only cried harder. This is my third son, the woman added gently. I always dreamed of having a girl. Since this is a boy, I'm done. No more children. Chioma glared at her suddenly. Is that supposed to make me feel better? You are just rubbing it in. No. The woman sat up quickly. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying, your daughter is beautiful. I don't care. Chioma sobbed. Then, abruptly, she turned to her. You said you always wanted a girl. The woman nodded cautiously. Please, help me, Chioma said, her voice trembling. Save my marriage. I don't understand, the woman said quietly. Take my daughter, Chioma pleaded. Give me your son. The room fell into a stunned silence. What? The woman gasped. I'm begging you, Chioma cried, falling to her knees. You finally have the daughter you want, and I'll have a son to keep my family together. Your husband will never know. My husband will stay. We both get what we want. What? How can you ask me that? The woman whispered, horrified. You want me to give up my baby? You don't know what I go through at home, Chioma said, desperate. My family, his family. Please, ma, you'll be saving a life. But the nurses, the records. The woman protested weakly. People know I had a boy and you had a girl. How would we hide it? We'll keep it a secret, Chioma insisted. Please, help me save what little I have left. The woman looked down at her newborn son, then at Chioma's tiny daughter. I don't know, she whispered. I'll be cutting him off from his brothers. And your daughter, she'll be raised by strangers. She'll be fine, Chioma said quickly. She'll be loved, cherished. She'll be the only girl in the midst of boys. She'll be their queen. This is your chance for a daughter, and my chance to keep my family whole. The woman hesitated, torn, tempted, conflicted. Finally, in a trembling whisper, she said, I can't believe I'm saying this, but yes, you can take him. Chioma gasped in relief. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you saved my life. I promise to love him with everything I have. Don't make any promises yet, the woman said firmly. We must think it through. What do we tell the nurses? We need our story straight. Chioma stood, lifted her daughter from the cot, and gently handed her over. The woman hesitated, but took the baby. Chioma walked over to the other cot, picked up the baby boy, and held him close, as though he had always been hers. The sound of shuffling feet snapped Chioma awake. She realized she had been dreaming. No one had given her a male child. She had slept soon after she'd given birth and had dreamt of a fantasy. There was no way in the world that a sane mother would exchange her baby just to satisfy another woman. She turned to the cot beside her. Her baby girl slept peacefully. The other woman from the night before had been wheeled to the theater hours earlier and had never returned. Chioma sighed when she saw the small cupboard beside her. Her husband hadn't brought her anything to eat. A nurse walked in. Good morning, madam, the nurse said cheerfully. Chioma barely nodded. I can see our baby girl is healthy, the nurse added brightly. Sleeping like an angel. Thank God for safe delivery. You and the doctor outdid yourselves last night, Chioma said listlessly. You were the ones on duty. You were the only ones on duty. I'm guessing you delivered the other woman's baby too. Some women are lucky, while others aren't, the nurse replied thoughtfully. You are one of the lucky ones. Really? Chioma asked. Tell me, what happened? The nurse sighed. She was in labor all night. When we wheeled her into the theater, the baby wasn't positioned right. We had to perform an emergency C-section. I was the only nurse on duty. I assisted the doctor and checked on you. You delivered shortly after arrival, but she had her baby 5 hours later. Are you serious? Poor woman, Chioma exclaimed. She's sedated, the nurse said. I hope she stops having children. She could die in childbirth. What if it's her first? Chioma asked. No, this is her third, the nurse replied. She has 2 boys already, and this one is a boy too. I'm sure she's hoping for a girl, but alas, she may wake up disappointed. Chioma's eyes lit up slightly. I bet her husband was with her, Chioma said. He seems scary. Her husband was called to an out-of-town job last night, the nurse corrected. She was all alone and still is. Chioma's heart began to race. So, she doesn't know she had a baby? She asked carefully. She's unconscious, the nurse confirmed. We sedated her. When she wakes up, she'll see her baby. Does she have any family around? Chioma pressed. Like I said earlier, no, the nurse said. She's in a private room. Her baby is with her. I just came from there. Is any other nurse on duty? It's very early, Chioma asked, looking around cautiously. Just the caregiver, the nurse replied. She only helped me bath the baby. She'll leave soon. Chioma looked the nurse squarely in the eyes. Nurse, I need you to do something for me. Please, a huge favor. A favor? The nurse frowned. What is it? I'll pay you handsomely, Chioma said quietly. Suspicion flickered in the nurse's eyes. What do you want me to do? Chioma beckoned her closer. When the nurse leaned in, Chioma whispered in her ear. The nurse's eyes widened immediately. Exchange the babies? She whispered harshly. Madam, what sort of request is that? Shh. Chioma warned. Keep your voice down. You are the only one who can help me. My baby is healthy. All I need is for you to switch them. Nobody will know. That's illegal, the nurse whispered, trembling. I could go to jail. I'll transfer 2 million naira to your account, Chioma said firmly. Right now. The nurse blinked. 2 million naira could solve a whole lot of her problems. It was no secret that the economy was bad. Her house rent had been increased, and she had a lot of other things to take care of. Chioma pressed harder. I have only girls. That woman has only boys. Maybe this is fate. Maybe she deserves a daughter. So I'm giving her one. Madam, I can't. The nurse stammered, torn between fear and desperate need. You are the only one who knows the baby's sex, Chioma continued. Apart from the doctor. Act fast, before her husband or anyone else comes. But the doctor may suspect. The nurse whispered nervously. If the babies were the same sex, it would be easier. But one is a boy and the other is a girl. You'll find a way around it, Chioma urged. Just say yes and I'll pay you. I'll even add 500,000 naira extra. The nurse's eyes widened at the mention of extra 500,000 naira. She looked at Chioma, then at the sleeping baby, and she began to think. Hours later, Chioma stepped out of the taxi, cradling the baby boy tightly in her arms. She hadn't waited to be formally discharged. The moment the nurse confirmed that the switch was successful, Chioma had paid her bills and slipped out of the hospital quietly. Her heart pounded as she pulled her bag from the back seat with one hand, the stolen baby pressed against her chest. Madam, no one came with you? The taxi driver asked, sounding concerned. Thank you, sir, Chioma murmured, ignoring the question as she shut the door. She shuffled to the entrance of her flat and rang the bell. Kamsi, her teenage cousin, opened the door, eyes widening in surprise. Auntie, I didn't know you'd be back today, Kamsi said. Clearly, nobody remembered there's a baby still lying in the hospital. Chioma replied sharply as she stepped past her into the house. Mommy! Her daughters squealed as they rushed downstairs, their faces bright with excitement. Where is my husband? Chioma asked Kamsi. He stepped out, Auntie, Kamsi answered. In the living room, the girls clustered around their mother, their eyes glued to the swaddled baby in her arms. Can I see the baby? Her first daughter asked excitedly. Can I carry her? The second daughter, Chloe, added eagerly. Chioma stiffened. Huh? She snapped. It's not a girl, it's a boy. A boy? Her first daughter gasped in delight. We have a brother? Yes, my darling, you have a brother now, Chioma said, smiling sweetly. I'll get the bassinet, Kamsi exclaimed, dashing off. Chioma settled onto the sofa and gently pulled the blanket aside, revealing the baby's face. Her daughters leaned in, all smiles, except Chloe. Her second daughter's face had fallen into a small hard frown. That's not my brother, Chloe said firmly. Chioma's smile froze. She stared at her child in alarm. What did you say? Chioma asked, her voice sharp. I don't like the baby, Chloe repeated, just as firm. He's not my brother. The words sliced through Chioma. Her heart raced. Without thinking, she leaned forward and slapped Chloe hard across the cheek. Are you mad? Chioma shouted. What nonsense are you saying? Chloe burst into tears and fled to the corner of the living room. Chioma's chest rose and fell rapidly. For the first time since she had come home with a stolen child, fear gripped her fully. Her hands trembled. People said children were spirits. Was it true? What did her daughter see? Days later, Chioma lay stretched out on the sofa, basking in her husband's sudden attention. All week, ever since she came home with a baby boy, Nnamdi had fluttered around her in the living room, preparing breakfast like a transformed man. When he had come home that Saturday morning and found her back with a son, his joy had been explosive. He had even promised her a new car. For the first time, she was glad that she didn't bow to pressure to check the child's sex while she was still pregnant. If she had, and the baby was revealed to be a girl, it may cause problems for her and reveal the lie she told her husband and family members. As Nnamdi set a tray of delicious breakfast before her, he said to her, "I told Chloe that she can name him, but she refused. I don't understand. She didn't act this jealous when our last girl, Ifedimma, was born. Why does it feel like she doesn't like her brother?" Chioma's hands trembled slightly as she lifted her fork. "She's just being naughty. Ignore her," Chioma said, forcing down the food into her mouth and swallowing hard. "Maybe," Nnamdi replied, leaning over to kiss her cheek. "By the way, aren't we supposed to take him for circumcision?" "Yes, we are," Chioma said, still eating and enjoying the attention. Then she suddenly remembered that she couldn't revisit the clinic where she gave birth, or her secrets would be let out, so she quickly said, "But I'd rather we went somewhere else. They treated me terribly at that clinic, and I left that place in tears. I never want to revisit it again." "Say no more," Nnamdi replied at once. "We'll go to another clinic." Chioma smiled sweetly, relief flooding her face. Everything was working out for her good. An hour later, they were ready to leave. Nnamdi carried the baby while Chioma locked the entrance door behind them. "I was thinking we should get a baby nanny," Nnamdi said as they stepped out. "I'd love that," Chioma replied, pleased. She had fought long and hard for Nnamdi to accept that she needed help with the kids, but he had refused. Now that she had a male child, he was suddenly the one suggesting a nanny. Life was simple after all, she thought. They both left the apartment and were heading toward the car when a large van drove into the compound. "What's going on?" Chioma asked, pausing. "Looks like someone's moving into the empty flat upstairs," Nnamdi said, glancing at the van. "Oh, so we've got new neighbors," Chioma repeated, quite thrilled with the idea of having a neighbor that she could talk to. Nnamdi wrapped a protective arm around her and the baby. "Let's wait till the van pulls in so we can get out." Chioma nodded casually and reached into the baby bag. That's when she heard it. It was a baby's cry. She froze. The cry echoed strangely in her chest, tugging at something deep and raw. Why did it sound so familiar? Why did it hurt her in the chest? Why did the cry gnaw at her insides and make her stomach churn? A man and a woman stepped out of the van, carrying a wailing baby. The instant Chioma saw the couple with the child, she knew why her body had reacted so furiously. Chioma's stomach dropped and her mouth went dry. She knew the couple. They were the same couple from the hospital. the couple whose baby she had stolen. The man held the baby carefully while his wife walked slowly, still recovering. Chioma's eyes darted from the couple to the baby boy in her husband's arms. Her breath caught in her throat. No, 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 Chioma whispered, panic rising. Darling, I forgot something. I need to get it. Now, give me the baby. She cried suddenly. Before Nnamdi could react, Chioma grabbed the baby from his arms and rushed back toward their apartment. You've just watched an intense episode of She Stole a Baby to Save Her Marriage. But the story is far from over. Did you enjoy this story? Then please share with people around you. Don't enjoy alone. God bless you. Like, share, and subscribe. The next episode drops soon. Stay tuned.